Hey guys, what's up? It's Max from d.c.watches, and today I'm going to do a little bit of a technical review of this guy, my new 1999 Rolex 14270, the Explorer 1 in 36 millimeters. So this is going to be a little bit more of a technical review, and then later I just kind of want to talk about why in another video, I'm going to talk about why I really love this watch, kind of the buying process of this watch, where it fits in my collection, and kind of more of that sort of thing. But for today, I'm going to go ahead and roll the intro, and then we're going to get into a technical review of this one. Thanks, guys. Alright guys, so much like most of these videos, I'd like to start off with just a little bit of history on the watch. So the Rolex Explorer 1, reference 14270, was first introduced in 1989 to replace the 1016 and ran until about 2000 or 2001. The differences from the 14270 and the 1016 are that this added, the 14270 added white gold surrounds for the lume, and also added a glossy black dial instead of the matte black dial on the 1016, and also added sapphire, replacing a domed acrylic crystal on the 1016. There are essentially four variations within the reference of 14270. The first one is the blackout dial, which was made between 1989 and 1991. That had tritium lume black paint in the numerals at 3, 6, and 9. And is considered to be the rarest of the four variants. There is also the T-Swiss dial, which was made from 1991 until 1998, that had white paint in the numerals and featured tritium lume. Then we come to this iteration of the 14270, which is the Swiss-only dial. This was made from 1998 until 1999. This is a transitional model where they moved from tritium lume to luminova. And you can see at 6 o'clock it says only Swiss, which is why this is referred to as the Swiss-only dial. And then from here we go to the Swiss-made dial, where it says Swiss-made below the 6. That was made from 1999 until approximately 2001, and that features super luminova instead of the luminova on this one. And from there, in 2001, the Rolex transitioned to the 14270. The main difference between that and the Swiss-made 14270 being solid end links. So to begin, I also kind of wanted to talk about my 14270. So my particular 14270 is a Swiss-only dial with an A serial number, which dates the watch to approximately 1998 or 1999. The Swiss-only has the shortest run of all 14270 variants. Based on production years, not necessarily production numbers, and spans over parts of the U and the A serial numbers. This is a transitional model, like I said before, that ushered out tritium and brought in luminova, and also ushered in a new case without lug holes. The prior variants did feature lug holes. So now to kind of get into the specifications of this. The movement in this watch is a Rolex Caliber 3000, which is a COSC certified movement with a 48-hour power reserve, 27 joules, and a beat rate of 4 hertz, or 28,800 vibrations per hour. This is the last Rolex movement without a Breguet overcoil, which is generally thought to improve accuracy by regulating the amplitude and tension on the hairspring. However, this particular movement in my 14270 still achieves COSC certification. I mean, they all do. It says chronometer certified on the dial. My particular watch runs at about -3 seconds a day, and while my preference is a slower beat rate, just because of the aesthetics of the second hand, I kind of prefer a stuttering second hand. I'm more than pleased with this watch, which was purchased and serviced through HQ Milton. The case of this watch is something I quite enjoy, the Oyster case. This Oyster case features a screw-down signed crown with the Rolex coronet, and we also see a sterile caseback, screw-down caseback, both of which are screw-down, which adds to which lends the 100 meters of water resistance to this particular watch. The case is 36 millimeters across, lug to lug, is 44 millimeters. The case is 11.4 millimeters thick, and it fits my 6¼ inch wrist very, very well, if I do kind of say so myself. Sorry about all that reflection from the window, but that's kind of what you get with a sapphire with no AR coating on it. So the case also has a 20 millimeter lug width, which kind of brings us to the bracelet. The bracelet on this watch is a 3-link all-brushed oyster bracelet. And one thing I really enjoy about this watch is that it has hollow end links, which allows the bracelet to immediately start conforming to the wrist. So the clasp on this watch is the clasp reference 78790A, which was originally introduced in 1996 to connect the two halves of the 55-8B bracelet that features on this. Some people hate this bracelet in clasp, but I really love it. Mine did come with some deep scratches on the clasp, but I kind of like it. They don't really bother me at all, as the post kind of scratch polish restored a lot of the original character to the bracelet anyway. Much of the original charm is kind of preserved, which is kind of saying a lot because this watch is only a year younger than I am. The clasp is stamped metal, which a lot of people don't like, but I enjoy. I find it very comfortable. And it has 5 micro adjustments, which is really great for somebody with a wrist like mine, on the smaller side. So coming back up to the top of the watch, under the sapphire crystal with no AR coating, thanks Rolex, we have a glossy ink black dial, which I absolutely adore. It's one of my favorite parts of the watch. I'm gonna put a picture up here that I've seen, or that I've showed before rather, where you can actually see the reflection of the underside of the hands in the dial, which is one of my favorite things about the watch. In addition, the lume on this watch is Luminova. It's everywhere on the watch except for 3, 6, and 9. And it is corralled by 18 karat white gold surrounds on the dial, which are applied quite perfectly. Aside from the hour markers, everything else on the dial is printed, including all of the Rolex text, the text under the center pinion and the minute track, as well as Swiss under 6 on the dial. Above the center pinion, we see the Rolex Coronet and Rolex Oyster Perpetual Explorer. Below the center pinion, we see Superlative Chronometer Officially Certified, and then below the 6, we see Swiss. So kind of the final thing that I haven't talked about yet are the hands on this watch. The hands are a high polished Mercedes that I am absolutely in love with. I think Rolex does the second hand better than anybody else in watchmaking. I find the sport second hand on Rolexes to just be a thing of absolute perfection. It truly is one of my favorite things about this watch, and was one of the driving factors behind why I bought it. Behind the fact that the overall design and the aesthetics of the watch are just incredibly clean and well done. So yeah, that's kind of it for the technical specifications. I'm going to flip the camera back around and talk a little bit more about what I like and some of the things that I don't like about this watch. Alright guys, so thanks for hanging with me through some of the more technical aspects of that review. That's kind of the stuff that I geek out about. I really love talking about the movement and stuff. And I'm going to be completely honest, I love this watch. I have not taken this watch off since I bought it. It's currently Sunday, the 16th. And I got it on the 8th, 7th or 8th, and I have not taken it off. I absolutely adore this watch. It's quickly become one of my favorites. But there are some things that I don't love about this watch. The first and probably the most glaring to me is that it's just an absolute fingerprint magnet. Something about the high polished bezel and the sapphire, just it smudges so easily, and I do find that I get lint on it a lot, which is, it's not terrible, but because I love the watch so much, I find myself kind of constantly taking it off and wiping down the crystal, which isn't exactly what I want to be doing when I'm wearing a watch, but I guess it is what it is. It's just kind of me being nitpicky. One of the other things that I don't love about this watch is that there's no AR coating on the sapphire, which does at times make it truly difficult to read, and I think I kind of showed it when I took it off a second ago, just in the light in my room. Like, good luck. good luck reading that one. And that can happen outside sometimes, but for the most part, it's not a huge problem. But it is something that I kind of not necessarily wish that they had corrected, because I don't know if AR coding necessarily belongs on this watch. But it's just something that I'm not crazy about in terms of the 14270. Everything else I kind of love. I absolutely love the bracelet. I know a lot of people don't like 5-digit Rolex bracelets, but I think they're amazing. I find them really, really comfortable. I don't mind the pressed metal. I like the fact that it's not heavy. My Seamaster bracelet is a milled clasp. It's very heavy duty. I don't love that clasp. It's very heavy, and can kind of be cumbersome to wear. But this is, it fits kind of like a glove, and I've really enjoyed wearing it. I love the dial. I think the dial is absolutely incredible. I love the glossy black. I didn't think I would. I generally speaking prefer matte dials, but I like the glossy black on this one. It adds a lot of depth to this watch. I love the size. I love that it's 36 millimeters. I think it fits me just perfectly. I wear it at work. I wear it when I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts. I've worn this watch just kind of with everything so far, and I've found it very difficult to take off, because it kind of just goes with whatever I'm wearing and whatever I'm doing. It's kind of just truly a go anywhere, do anything watch, and I really love that about it. There's a lot of charm that's gone into this watch. I love the design. The 369 with the triangle at 12 is so classic. It's such a quintessentially Rolex thing. I love the handset. The second hand is one of my favorite things that Rolex does on their sport models. I don't know why. The lollipop is a little bit bigger than it is on my Seamaster, which I think is what draws me so much to it. I think it's just a very well proportioned watch. So yeah, I'm kind of in love with it. I plan on doing another video where I talk more about how I think it fits in my collection and why I bought it. And the process of buying it. So that'll be up sometime later this week. But for now, suffice it to say that this has quickly become one of, if not the single favorite watch in my collection to wear. There's not really any sentimental attachment to it yet. But from a purely design aspect, a pure enjoyment of wearing aspect, it is up there for sure. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what you think of the Explorer. And if you guys have any other video ideas, I'd love to hear those too. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon. This has been Max from D.C. Watches.